Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Was Born in the Uzumaki clan. Remember to get this one to 200 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the Asusuke King that I post on this channel. And over on Anime King 2 I post a new episode of What If Naruto push himself to his limit. So go ahead and enjoy that, guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, the last spot we left off, Nagato and Naruto went down as they were surrounded by the Hidden Rain's army. As they were at the border, Hanzo, along with two of his subordinates, were watching up at the top. As if the boy could make his way up here, then he'd probably have to listen to what they have to say. As Naruto was getting infused by his dark chakra inside of him, as Nagato realized it was quickly changing his friend, because Naruto was quickly changing his opinion. They came here to talk, not to kill these rain ninjas, and Naruto was pushing things as he was acting all feral and angry. Until Angel arrived. It was Konan, as she started to rain down paper shurikens on Naruto. As Naruto went up there in a burst of dark smoke, as he came out of it attacking her ferociously with all kind of different lightning attacks mixed with his dark powers. As Nagato had to put up a barrier to protect the rain ninjas, but the idiots were attacking him. As he realized he had to subdue them, despite everything they were still a lot weaker than him, as he managed to take all of them out. Konan realized that she has to end this soon. Her body burst into pure papers as she surrounded Naruto. Miffy, knowing that this was over, he started to walk away, as a huge explosion went off. When Konan emerged, she was shocked, as she couldn't believe it, he was still alive. As she let her emotions get the better of her, which Naruto took control of, as Konan started to scream out in pain and agony. It went on for a while until she finally passed out, as Naruto tied her up and sealed away her chakra. Awakened, she realized that the other one was gone, and her friends, all of them were knocked out, as Nagato made his way up the hill, as he came face to face with Hanzo, as he managed to push himself before anything, as he got Hanzo to listen to him. Sometime later, Akeno was inside the room with Nagato and Naruto leaned up against the wall, as Hanzo and his people came in, along with Konan as well, and an orange-haired boy. His hair was spiky and he was looking at Naruto, was quite curious to what he heard, as Hanzo would accept the Uzumakis in his ranks, except for Naruto. So yeah guys, that was basically the last point left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? I can pardon Nagato and the rest of your clan, but not you, said Hanzo, as Konan the orange-haired boy looked at Naruto. Before Nagato or Akeno could say anything, Naruto spoke. Understandable, I planned this mission. None of my people knew what they were getting into. I assume full responsibility, he said, as he raised his hand to stop Nagato from interfering. A stern glance at Akeno stopped her from intervening as well. I see, said Hanzo. So you're the leader hiding in the shadow of Nagato. I'm a soldier, nothing more. Nagato, speak for all of us, but each of us have a voice. For their opinion. That is just how we Uzumakis are, Naruto said. You know, I can actually kill all of you, said Hanzo darkly, as Mifune went stiff. Galatea and Konan looked uncomfortable. The orange-haired boy looked like he wanted to protest, while the two civilians look like they agree with this. As Naruto stepped forward, Hanzo raised his hand to stop anyone from doing anything. As Naruto climbed up the stairs as Hanzo was sitting on his throne. As Naruto stopped a few feet away from Hanzo. Before we perish, we will burn the hidden rain to the ground. I would personally slaughter as many of your people as I can. Cripple your nation, just before the greatest war of our world. You will destroy yourself and all your dreams. To destroy the Uzumaki will be the end of you. I promise you, Naruto said. His dark chakra started to spike, making the people around him tremble. Every ninja placed their weapons forward, but Naruto didn't even flinch. Your clan is full of innocent children. If my people die, so will yours, said Hanzo darkly. He saw Naruto's eyes soften just for a second, before that defiant look came back in his eyes. I have already seen the worst of this world. Your empty threats do not scare me, Salamander Hanzo. Hanzo leaned back in his chair as he smirked. I will give every Uzumaki a place in this nation. They all will be given citizenships, providing that they swear their loyalty to the reign and its leader. Naruto looked back at Nagato and Akino for a brief second before turning back. Other villages slaughter my people because they were different, because of our knowledge. I swear, if you even touch my people. Hanzo quickly got on his feet. I am not like those men. I am Hanzo. The Salamander Hanzo, he said. Naruto gazed, stared at Hanzo. He didn't know why. He looked over at Konan as she gave a small nod. As Konan was even surprised at her own actions, why did she nod? As Mifune was looking at him neutrally. Galatea seemed skeptical, but she didn't say anything. This strange orange-haired boy gave a small smile, and the civilians were glaring at him even more hatefully. As he turned, Nagato gave him a nod, as Akino gave him a hopeful smile, as he could see the hope in their eyes. Then, under these terms, the Uzumaki clan pledged herself to the hidden reign. We shall abide by the laws in these lands, and fight to protect this nation from enemies, foreign or domestic, Naruto promised. As Hanzo gave a firm nod. And what about you, said Hanzo. What about me, said Naruto. Konan's gaze fell on him, as it was something strange about this boy. Maybe it was because of his defiance to stand up against Salamander Hanzo so openly. Or perhaps it was just she couldn't tell, but she has never seen anyone like Naruto Uzumaki before. Although his name was a downright annoying and a joke. Who the hell named your kid after a fish cake? Your clan, your friends took the oath. But not you, said Hanzo, as Naruto smirked. While I appreciate the offer, I'll pass. Hanzo saw the shocked look on the boy's friends' faces, as they were surprised by this course of action. As Mifune saw Hanzo smile, your qualities will be known for this world for a long time, Uzumaki Naruto, said Hanzo. Konan was really surprised. Hanzo praising this boy? Why? As Hanzo really praised everyone, even her. It made her heart clench a little. Just who the hell was this Naruto Uzumaki that not even Hanzo could resist the praise? As everyone was shocked on the other side when Naruto bowed deeply before Hanzo, much to their surprise. The boy didn't say any words, but Hanzo understood and gave him a confident nod. As Naruto then turned his eyes towards Konan, as he saw so many emotions flashing across her face, he just gave her a nod as well. Before anything, he then turned and walked towards the door. It was then he saw the reaction of his friends. Despite being prepared for this, his heart clenched at the sight. Nagato's anger had vanished and he was looking at his friend with pure panic, as Nagato was already thinking of various ways to make him stay. But it was Akino that made him feel sad or maybe even guilty. He couldn't even look in her eyes. He didn't want this, but this was the only way. As Hanzo noticed that as he called out to Nagato, as Akino turned as well, giving Naruto time to leave as Naruto went off. Moments later, Naruto went inside a room. Instead of fully going in, he just peeked inside to see the Uzumaki children. They were sleeping soundly on the beds. A smile came on his face, seeing them safe. All that he has undergone in these months, it was worth it. Yet, he still felt guilty. All of them lost their parents, their friends, their relatives, because he failed in this task. He had failed in the task the Uzukage assigned to him, as he could still remember the face of his deceased clan members as they lay murdered in the Fire Nation. Their terrified gaze always kept him awake at nights. He took a hesitant step forward if only to say goodbye, But then he remembered who he was, as he stopped himself. Unlike the other two, he was a scary older brother. Sometimes he saw the terrified scares of look these kids sent his way. He knew their reason, but deep down it hurt. But they were right. If he was near them, it would only bring them pain and suffering and danger that they weren't ready for, not at all. And he didn't make any real efforts to get to know these children. Despite his heart wanting it, he didn't even have the time, neither. But with one final glance towards the future of his clan, he knew that his friends will build up everything will be well. He disappeared into the darkness. All of you are the light of the clan, but I am the darkness. I wonder, will you ever remember me, he thought. Time skip, it was rare for Hanzo to take break in the middle of important negotiations. But there was one person who could get him to take a break. It was strange. This girl was nothing but an orphan of the inner reign. But now, years later, Konan was one of his strongest ninjas of the nation. And she was also his successor. In the path of fulfilling peace, Hanzo has long given up his desire of having his own family someday. Not that he wanted that much, since his dreams for change was already greater and more important. But Konan, she had a fire in her that Hanzo wanted for the next leader of the inner reign. May I ask why you brought me here, Hanzo asks, in a calm tone. First, I want to apologize for, but Hanzo raised his hand, stopping her. There is no shame into losing to someone powerful than you. It would have been a real defeat if you did not give it your all. Whatever mistake you made in battle, it will just help you grow and learn and to become a better kunoichi. Always remember, Konan, there is no greater teacher for a person in this world than the person himself. I know, said Konan, but I promise. Hanzo placed a hand on her shoulder. Let me be the judge of whether you break our promise or not. Understood, he said, as Konan nodded. Is that all you want to discuss? Because if it is, I should get back to the negotiations. Nagato and Kano are distressed as it is, with their comrade leaving. That is actually what I want to talk about. There is a way we can secure the Hidden Reign future and calm those two. If this idea of mine work, then you may earn the full loyalty of the Uzumaki clan without an oath. Hanzo raised his eyebrows. What do you have in mind? Konan couldn't help but smirk. She would have her little payback. Timeskip, Nagato and Akeno were pacing around in the chambers of Hanzo, as it has been nearly half an hour since your best friend walked out of his room, walked out of their life, without turning back. They already know that Naruto would never serve any other flag other than Uzu, but then they believe that with time he would change his heart just to stay here with them. But they should have known how stubborn that boy was. I can't believe he would do this to us, said Akeno. What the hell is the idiot going to do? Does he even have a plan? Where the hell is he going to go? He keeps on blabbering about his plan, but he's so reckless, Before she could rant anymore, she was grabbed by Nagato as he pulled her into a hug. She broke down in his arms, starting to cry. I can't lose him, Nagato, she whispered. Her heart was trembling at the sight of just losing him. I won't let it happen, Akeno, said Nagato, as he broke the hug and looked her directly in the eyes. As long as I live, you won't lose him. No matter what, I promise, he said. As she was surprised as he wiped away her tears. You must remember, Akeno, he carried a lot of stress on his shoulders. His life wasn't as normal as ours. I'm not making excuse for him. I am as pissed off about his little stunt. But I understand why he does things like this. I don't know how you do it, Nagato. I truly care about him. Hell, I even never mind. He drives me insane. I don't understand how you're not pissed off at these things he does. Nagato simply smiled. Because he's my best friend. That stopped her, as the answer was so simple. She knew only a person like Nagato could say something like that. And he was right. Akeno, I think he knows what he wants, but he doesn't know the exact way he can achieve it. Unlike us, he hasn't experienced a normal childhood, and he was isolated for most of his life. He simply don't know how to behave around people, or be with them. That is why he pushed everyone away. Why? Akeno said. It is for fear of being rejected, for being abandoned again. What his parents did to him that changed him. Akeno started to calm down herself as she realized he was right. For any reason, they shouldn't have abandoned their son like that. But she has to make him see his shortcomings. Nagato was too soft on him, and he would be there as his best friend no matter what, so it was up to her. And they will bring him back. You're done, Naruto Uzumaki, she said. She will no longer let him push people away. It won't be easy, but they will find common ground and just show him that there's a different way. The door then opened as Hanzo walked in with that smirking girl. Akainu didn't know why, but seeing this girl, she just felt pissed. She couldn't explain it. Was it jealousy? And judging from the cocky smirks on Konoha's lips, she was up to no good. What the hell is she up to, Akainu thought. 2 days later, it has been 2 days since he left his clan and his friends. To be honest, Naruto didn't know what to feel about his decision. On one hand, he could never become a Rain soldier. He simply couldn't betray the oath that he made to the Uzumaki clan, and he was hell-bent on achieving that to his last breath. Even if that was the problem, he had other dreams to fulfill now. Now that his clan was safe and protected, and he couldn't accomplish them if he was a ninja of the Hidden Rain, since any trouble, it would just spell trouble for the Hidden Rain and his small clan as well. And no matter what, he couldn't let that happen. Even so, a small part of him felt extremely guilty for leaving his friends behind. He didn't even wait for too long to say goodbye. And as he sat alone in his wasteland, he couldn't blink back the tears as they were just pooling down his face. He missed the friendly banter he had with Kano, the peaceful talk he had with Nagato. He missed it so much. The rain falling down on him made his tears invisible, as he had to accept his life now. He had already sent a message to Kisame asking the man for the update on the brewing war. And maybe in a day or two he received a reply from the Kiri Ninja. A new mission that he has to look forward to help him achieve a peaceful world. If maybe someday he achieves his dream, then not only his friends, but millions of people would live a happy life. So that the tragedy of the Uzumaki clan can never be again. As he thought about that, his eyes hardened. All the forces that were wreaking havoc across the world now. The 5 great villages. Crazy monsters going around, such like Orochimaru. The list was endless of people that were wrecking the world right now. As he remembered everything that happened in the past few months, his chakra started to flare up around him, making the plants wither away. He then felt several foul presence a distance away. These were corrupted. They were filled with anger and bloodlust and madness. He increased his sensory range. He then felt a presence of nearly 100 civilians. It was a small village perhaps. He knew what was going to happen. He could feel it. The war had already started, and knew it was going to reach in rain. There was not just ninja villages that were dangerous. There were several other groups and organizations. He took a step forward, but he stopped. He was already near the borders, and soon he would be out of the country. The Rain Ninjas should know about this soon enough. It was their job to protect it. Yet, he remembered his clan. The massacre, the screams, the people screaming out as they were slaughtered. He couldn't allow this to happen. Let your darkness be your greatest strength rather than your worstest enemy. As that was what the Uzukage told him. He knew that the man doth never walk away if he knew that innocent life were in danger. And neither would him now. Moments later, terrified screams rang across the small village of Han. It was named respectfully towards their glorious leader, Hanzo. Just another small village. It was just a small village with sickness, poverty, unemployment. There was not a single thing about it that made it worthy for such a ferocious attack. Now Han's groans were stained, as blood was everywhere of the poor civilians, the screams of the terrified woman and child, along with the man that was being slaughtering, as they were the first to be targeted and killed one by one. Another sound could be heard as well, laughter. Cruel, vicious laughter escaped the lips of the attackers. Dressed in dark black robes, their face covered by skull masks, as they were the monsters that were reaping havoc in this village. A strange serpent with green angels floating above the village, making the civilians fear in horror, as the animals were slaughtering everything that came in their way, man, woman or child. The sight of several little children on the ground, lifeless, made his blood boil. I'm gonna kill all of you. As all of them stopped when they sensed that dark chakra presence flood the area. The attackers stopped completely as they watched. Their dark serpent was swallowed by a dark skull in the sky, a demonic skull. Something then landed down the center of the village, sending dust and debris everywhere. The attackers lost all interest in civilians and quickly surrounded the person that was in this dust. They all took a step back though when they saw his eyes. Pure, red, demonic eyes. Who is this guy? One of them asked. Reinforcement? Another asked. It doesn't matter. The rain. Ninjas are weak as hell. Let's show these bastards the power for our lord. Howl, a young, gray-haired man. As he brought forth his sight and pointed at the boy, his comrades also breathed forth their sight. So you believe in God? The boy asked. Hell yeah, tell you what brat, just died and be honored to become Jashin Sama's sacrifice. Screeched the young gray-haired man again, his comrades howling in agreement. A wicked smile came on Naruto's face. Then let me show you the power of God, he said. Before any of them could do anything, dark tentacles emerged from Naruto and wrapped them up. But instead of being scared, they all simply smiled. We can't be killed by humans, one of them yelled. Yeah, we're immortal. I wouldn't be so sure about that, said Naruto. The tentacles started to slam them against each other as the people of Han started to look at the boy with a newfound awe and devotion for saving them. The masked men who were butchering others are now being butchered themselves, as Naruto had that wicked smile on his face. He saw the group of men trying to slice through the dark tentacles, but their weapon just passed right through it. Naruto made the tentacles spin off them and threw them hundreds of meters out of the village, as all of them crashed violently. As he then pushed off the ground, as he landed in a boom, as he slowly marched towards the group. You bastard, they were cursing at him, but the wicked smile was still on Naruto's face as he stepped forward. A few of them rushed towards him. Naruto simply pointed his fingers and they stopped. Their comrades were shocked when their friends fall to their knees and started to scream out, holding their head tight. As Naruto saw the gray-haired man staring at him with fear flashing through his eyes. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, Naruto said. Before he could do anything, dark tentacles wrapped around him as one of them tear right through his eye, making him scream out in pain and agony. What's your name? Naruto said. Hidan. Before I squash all of you like this disgusting vermins you are, tell me, who sent you here? Naruto asked, his demonic red eyes making them flinch. We are followers of Jashin Sama. We follow no one but our god. Kill in his name, said Hidan proudly, as that soon turned to pain as Naruto made the tentacles spin in his body, causing him more pain. Foolish humans, Naruto said. Still, he was surprised by the power of these men. All of them had injuries on their body that should have killed them a long time ago. Just the amount of blood they lost should have taken their life, but they were still standing. As Naruto dived into Hidan's mind, Hidan cried out in pain as Naruto went through his mind, learning everything about their cult, about their religion, their power, their god. Hidan was horrified by this boy. He was a true monster, a true god. As Naruto broke the mental link, he saw them all cowering in front of him, and they were immortal to an extent. But they could be killed. His dark chakra can destroy their body from the inside. But he felt connected to the power that they possess. It was dark, twisted, violent, corrupted like his own. While these Jashinis was nothing more than barbarians, he couldn't just toss away their powers in these times. Please spare us, we won't attack anymore, pleaded Hidan, as the rest of them cower in fear and plead as well. And why would I do that? Naruto asked. Hidan felt a cold shiver run down his spine as the ruthless gaze of the boy landed on him. He was going to kill all of them brutally. As his eyes met with his other comrades, they had seen it as well, but Hidan felt something else. This boy was more powerful than their entire group, defeating them all. Despite the power granted to them by Jashin Sama, could he be Jashin? The demonic eyes, the bloodlust, the cruelty, the twisted laugh, yes, he could be Jashin. He couldn't believe it, their lord was standing in front of them, and none of them realized it. Oi, assholes, said Hidan, as he started talking the ancient language of his cult. Unknown to them, Naruto could already understand after ripping through his mind. But he's acting like he's not even here. Naruto flicked his wrist and one of the dark tentacles ripped off Hidan's arm. You bat! Hidan stopped, as Naruto gave him a cold, glaring look. You say something, Naruto asked. Hidan shook his head. I don't like people avoiding me in any way. Do you understand me? Naruto said. Yes, my lord, said Hidan. The other Jashinis were shocked to see one of them honor such blasphemy. Their furious look landed on their comrade, Hidan, as he glared back at them. He's a god, you fools! Can't you feel his power? It's just like Jashin-sama. Have you forgotten our scriptures? Hidan yelled. As Naruto was intrigued by what he was seeing, all of their eyes widened as Hidan's words sank in. That dark chakra, their own powers as a result of the dark cult taught to them by the great Jashin. And here was this boy, a complete master of the dark arts, who had squashed all of them like bugs. They felt his aura, his power, it was unending. Ready to die, Naruto asked, snapping them out of their shock. What? No. You can't kill us, said Hidan. And why is that, Naruto asked. We will fight and die for you, anything, said Hidan desperately. And Naruto saw that same look in the other eyes of the other cult members. And why is that, Naruto asked. Because you're Jashin-sama, reincarnated in the flesh. I never thought I would see the day to witness your dark powers. Let us serve you, my lord, Hidan begged. Looking at them, Naruto wanted to kill them. These people were no longer humans, they were monsters in human forms. He had seen the things that they have done. They were no longer human at all. But at the same time, he could feel their and see their usefulness. They could just be pawns, just useful. All of them saw the tentacles disappear as dark power hit them, as it felt ecstatic. As it engulfed their body, they could feel the sick, twisted power from this darkness. Naruto stepped forward as all of them bowed down to the ground in front of him. He went through several sets of hand signs before pointing his hands towards them. All of them hissed in pain, and a small portion of the dark energy went into their bodies. A large face, skull tattoo appeared in their right arm, its eyes glowing red demonically for a second before it died down. As all of them looked up, all of their eyes, one of their eyes were dark red like his. Hidan was in the process of regenerating his lost eye that Naruto stabbed, and his organ. They were replaced immediately. He stared at his lord in awe as he bowed deeply before him. Master, thank you for giving us your powers, said Hidan madly, the others following the example. As Naruto had shared a part of his power with them, making their weak bodies stronger. Despite being immortal, they were weak. Now he has a group that was loyal to him. Their will was his. As he placed it in their mind, he was Jashin. Rise, Naruto said. As all of them got to their feet immediately, each of them will still pay for their crime, but that was when they were no longer useful to him. At least they could be useful to bring a good cause now with your power. From today you shall follow me. Together we shall strike this twisted world. Yes, master, they all said. Obey me and I promise to reward you great battles and bloodshed. Fight for me, kill for me, do anything I say, and you shall realize the reason for your existence. We will do all you ask, master, said Hidan. He had seen it with his own eyes. This boy was the avatar of Jashin, and the vision he showed them. Oh, the amount of joy they will have. They will show and dance the cruel world of blood. Loyalty will be rewarded, Naruto said. Treachery would only bring you a torturous death. As Naruto raised his hand, all of them fell to their knees as a skull mark on their arms started to burn them. Hidan stared at his master as he realized he marked them all with his seal. It was a full jutsu none of them had seen before, to show them all how powerful their leader was. This mark is my connection to all of you. I will issue my orders through them. Yes, master, we understand, Hidan said. Now, let our holy crusade begin. All of them howl here and that. Starting, divide yourself in groups of 10. As they quickly did as they were instructed. Goru, Haru, Isamu, Jun, Ken, Kale, Fumio, and Keiji. It took a few minutes, but he listened as all of them revealed their name to him. He did his best to hide his disinterest. These people were nothing but pawns to him, but you have to know them if you're going to use them correctly. Good, Jun. Lead, Team 1. Your mission is to set up base for our army. Find remote places for these tasks. I will give you 3 months. Isamu, lead, Team 2. Your mission is to gather armor, weapons, arsenal for my followers. I don't care how you get them, you have 2 months. Kale, lead Team 3, your mission is to get the money for a crusade. You will regularly report back to me in the progress that you have made. And Hidan, lead team 4, your mission is to gather information on the 5 great villages. You are free to kill any of the shinobis that get in your way and collect their bounties. Send them to KO afterwards. Understood? Yes, master. I'll make many sacrifices in your glory, said Hidan, as a chuckle escaped from his lips. As Naruto maintained his cold gaze at all of them, he then waved his hand. Go and carry out my will across this world. A wicked smile came on his lips as he watched his pawns went out. As he then turned back to the village of Han, there could still be civilians trapped under debris. Children may be injured and he couldn't leave them that way. That is all he would do, and then he would leave. But it seems like that wouldn't happen. He stopped when he noticed who was at the entrance. It was Nagato, Akeno, along with Konan. As Naruto looked at them, Konan looked annoyed, to say at the least. Nagato looked disappointed, and Akeno. Naruto had to quickly pull his tanto as she pounced on him, her eyes screaming bloody murder. You bastard, she yelled as her blade clashed against his, sparks flying everywhere. What shocked him though that Nagato hadn't made a move to stop her, and Konan was enjoying this with a smile. The bitch was enjoying his misery. As he blocked Akeno's non-lethal strikes as she yelled and cursed at him. But he accepted it because this time he crossed the line, with leaving though saying goodbye. Besides, the Uzumaki warned to not provoke the females of the clan when they were extremely serious and frustrated, as his momentary distraction cost him, as she knocked his blade from his arm, as she drive her sword forward and stopped, as it teared through his shirt, but she stopped. As he saw the unending rage in her eyes, he simply lowered his gaze, as he had nothing to say to her right now, as he just waited for the pain that will hit him very soon, knowing that she was going to slap him or something. You reckless idiot. That was all he heard before she wrapped him into a tight hug, shocking him, as she was crying now, as it broke his heart to see her cry, as he looked at Nagato to see his friend shaking his head, and Konan was smiling at him, not a mocking smile, a genuine one, as that made him tear up. He missed them. He missed them so much. Only for a few moments he wanted everything to stop, as he just wanted to be with his friends. He wrapped his arms around her waist as Akeno smiled, as he pulled her close, as she face buried into her neck, and she felt wet. Tears, he was crying. She thought he would give her that cold gaze to leave him alone. She never thought he'd become so emotional. It was then she remembered what Nagato said. He cares about you, Akeno, more than you would ever imagine. She was still mad though, but she still wanted to hold him in her arms. It had been 2 days since their separation, but it felt like years for her. She then heard a cough from Konan, as Naruto slowly broke the gaze, as Akeno cursed that bitch in her mind. If you two are done smugging each other, there is more important task to finish, said Konan briefly, as Akeno gave her a murderous glare, which she ignored. As Naruto stared awkwardly at Nagato for some help, but Nagato was looking the other way whistling. How did you find me, Naruto said. We were following your trail, although it wasn't that easy task I imagined in the beginning. We received a distress call about the attack on this village. Finding you here was a surprise, said Konan. Naruto then felt Akeno's arms gripped him on his shoulder, as she then started to scream at him and shake him ferociously. But he simply smiled. Despite who she was still Akeno. That is why he stopped himself, as he looked at her. For the first time he noticed something different. The way her cheeks flushed, as the way she was yelling at him over the years, with her soft voice, despite wanting to be rough, she was still soft and beautiful. Her cheeks, her lips, her soft lip. Stop, what are you saying? This is Akeno, Naruto said to himself. Even if it was just 2 days, he has missed Nagato as well, but the way he missed her, it was different. He had longed for her smile, her sarcastic remarks, and her ability to listen to anything that he has to say. As he started to raise his hands up, but he then remembered the cult, and his desires, his plans. Nagato, who was watching, saw Naruto's hand drop back, as he shook his head in disappointment. Akeno was so busy yelling at him that she missed that. Darkness and light cannot coexist together. One day you will realize that, Akeno, Naruto thought. As Akeno came to a stop as she was panting harshly to regain her breath. Did you even listen to a single thing I said, she said, looking at him, pouring into his eyes. Yes, he lied. So, what do you have to say? Nothing, Naruto said. Akino was about to curse at him again, but he stepped past her. As he went towards Konan, holding out his hand, the both of them shake hands. Uzumaki Naruto. I believe that introductions were left unattended in our last encounter, Naruto said, earning a nod from her. Konan, and likewise, it's nice to meet someone with your talent, she said. As she saw how he just dismissed the girl right there. Despite she could have been a little more calmer, she did not like that and it kind of got on her nerves. I would like you to take my friends back to the capital, Naruto said. First, tell me what happened to the bandits, she asked. Oh, that's better for me, Naruto thought, making her believe that it was bandits instead of a cult of immortal fighters. I chased them off, Naruto said. You didn't kill them, Konan asked. She may not have known him for long, but she doubted he was the type of ninjas who took prisoners. And judging from the shocked look of his friend's face, this boy didn't take prisoners, not at all. I don't want to stain my hands with trash, Naruto said, as he gave them stares to oppose him on that. But they all simply relented. So, why have you been following me, Naruto asked as he looked at Konan. I have a proposal for you, Uzumaki Naruto, she said. At Konoha, there was a knock on her door. Kushina went towards the door as she stopped, opening it. She looked at the former lover of her life, the father of her son, the man that was at the center of her universe. It still startled her, on seeing him looking at her with that stare, with that gaze. That loving gaze, after everything that happened between them. Can I come in? Asked Minato. Her shock wore off quickly as her gaze became cold, as she glared at him. Minato quickly realized where his son gained that stone-cold glare. No, she said. He concealed the hurt and disappointment he felt on hearing that bitter answer. Every day it broke his heart to see her get further and further away from him, no matter what he did, no matter how much he tried. As he went through his pockets, he then pulled out the envelope and gave it to her. I don't want this, she said. Kushina, how many times do I have to tell you, she said. It's over. You can stop pretending, she said. I know you can't forgive me, but before I leave I want to give you this, said Minato. Leave? She asked. For war, he said. The anger quickly faded from her eyes, as she was replaced with fear and anxiety, as she searched his face rather quickly to see he was telling the truth. He was truly going to war. Obito was going as well. As the last part crushed her. Obi was so young. He did not deserve to see the horrors of war. No one, not even him, not even Minato. She wanted to argue, but she knew that almost every ninja was being sent to war. Since she was a Jinchuriki, she had to remain behind and protect the village. In only dire situation will she be sent on the battlefield for war. It was infuriating to watch all of her loved ones take all this risk while she stayed behind. I know that I haven't always lived up to your expectation, Kushina. I have always wished the best for you though. I still do. That is why I want you to take this. So, at least when I die. Kushina felt her heart tighten in her chest on hearing those words, but still he smiled. I will know that I at least kept to our promise, he said. She shut her eyes, unable to keep away the tears. I will always love you, Kushina, he said. When she slowly opened back her eyes, the only thing she saw was a lone tear falling, as he was gone, as a gentle breeze hit her face. As she reached up and pulled up the envelope, opened it, her heart stopped. Inside was at least a dozen photos of her son. To see these images of him, it gave her peace. Looking through them, she saw it was Naruto with different ages, and some other people beside him, a girl with silver hair and another boy with red hair as well. It made her heart swell up. That idiot. She couldn't believe it. The only way for him to have these photos is if he watched her son from afar. For her, it was impossible to leave Konoha without sending the entire village in a dire frenzy. The Hokage had placed a seal on her that constantly showed him about her whereabouts. And even in Uzu, there was detection seal that would have detected his presence. Yet, he had risked everything to see their son, to see that he was safe. To watch him grow, if only for a few possible moments, and to just walk away. She felt her anger rise on him keeping this away, but she understood why he did it, because she would have demanded to come with him. And that would have destroyed everything. And yet he has given her all of these precious memories about their son. Minato Namikaze, you crazy bastard, she thought, emotions flushing in her chest. But if he had given this to her, a risk, showing his treaty, of the violation between Uzo and Konoha. This can only mean he didn't think that he was coming back alive. And for the first time in years, she couldn't imagine her life without Minato. So she ran. Time skip. Conan was looking at the boy in front of her, after she and them had made sure the people of Han were safe, and healed the ones who were injured. Conan could see how the Uzumakis were talented, as Akainu had healed all the wounds, despite some of them being dreadful. And Nagato went around helping the rescue team search, and placed up protective seals around the village to help. With those protection seals, it was confirmed that Han would not be so easily attacked the next time. Hanzo was right, these Uzumakis, while being a wild bunch, they were surely talented, and they would be a good addition to the Hidden Rain. So now, here was she in one of the House of Han, with one of the strongest Uzumaki she has ever seen. As she was looking at him, his eyes were staring back at her with a bit of amusement. Yeah, he was an asshole, there was no doubt in her mind about that. But there was also another side of him, which he rarely showed. Well, talk, Naruto said, finally losing his patience as he smirked. You have interesting powers, lethal but useful. We could use a ninja of your talents, said Conan. I already told you I won't swear loyalty to any nation or leader. I am a soldier of Uzu, and I will remain so until my last breath, Naruto said. Galtia was right, his pride is what set him away from all others. But it is also his weakness, thought Conan. Then let me rephrase it, we don't want you to become a ranged shinobi, nor swear loyalty towards Hanzo or our nation. But you are loyal to your clan, and with a world war at our doorstep, the Hidden Rain is not prepared enough to face the dangers. That is why we need your services. Naruto eyebrow raised in curiosity. A mercenary? What makes you think I'm a thug for hire? As Conan saw the boy giving her a amused look, the bastard was just milking this. But she would not fail. Not as a mercenary, but a protector of the Uzumaki clan. You have seen our shinobis and their skill level, despite the talent of your friends. The Rain does not have the numbers or skill to oppose any of the five, or to even stop them from using the Hidden Rain as their battlefield. If that happens, neither of us can live peacefully, us or your clan. So I want you to be, as Naruto spoke for her, a guardian. But guys, we'll be ending this episode right here. If you want the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. But I'm all for now. Peace.